박자를 가리기 위한 최경기 대결로 인사를 드립니다. 보는 이도 선수들도 피말리는 싸움이 될 텐데요. 오늘 이 재경기 김태형, 김정민 두 분을 함께 하겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
반갑습니다.
네, 반갑습니다.
네, 고맙습니다. 네, 오늘 재경기에도 역시 현장에 많은 팬 여러분들과 그리고 TV를 통해서 또 다양한 방법으로 저희와 함께 해주시는 많은 팬 여러분들과 함께하게 될 텐데요. 이미 지난 시즌에 저희는
Oh yeah, what's up everybody? Guess what? It's the SSL Ro16 Tiebreakers and it's BisuDagger on the microphone. Looks like it's going to be a solo cast this morning. I apologize for the fact that I'm only going to have just nearly 3 hours to be able to perform this cast. So let's hope at least one of these groups does go quickly while another one does perform quite epically. I know that we're going to have a few TVTs mixed in here, and so our day could be long ahead of us. But don't worry, I never tire. I can never tire of Brood War here. And just as I say that, a little bit of a lag on the stream, but we'll power through because guess what? We've got the OGN source stream, and it is the best stream possible out there. Super high quality, so it will be pretty awesome to be watching from. I could probably go down to high and still receive similar quality here. Fortunately, Brood War doesn't need the best resolution to still look like a great game. So it is Tuesday morning. Everybody, you may have had work already if you're in Europe or across the world. You may be getting off work soon. So that's good for you, I guess. A lot of the Koreans, it should be 6 o'clock, I guess, or 7 o'clock in Korea in the afternoon. So they are all ready to just cozy up in their snuggies, watch StarCraft, and then go to bed. How fortunate for them. And hello, Light Rush. Thank you for joining and chatting in my Twitch channel. So what we're looking at here with the round of 16 tiebreakers, yes, it's a round robin format. So any player that wants to advance is going to have to win 2 games back to back. And that seems like an almost impossible task for Group A. I mean, look how difficult this group is. Mind, Sack, and Movie. Now, Movie, he's not necessarily a top tier Protoss player, but he has some pretty solid PvT, and he's able to take down some big name players. He's always been a player that's like an A-ranked player, but can have that glimpse of brilliance to take down an S-class player. So then Mind and Sack are 2 of the top Terran players in the pool. Literally the best Terran players in the world, in my opinion. No one comes near them. And even C, he really only plays well when he's playing online. So offline, Mind and Sack, they are the top tier players. So that being said, Mind is going to have to go, okay, if I've got to play Sack first, then I've got to beat Movie. But if Movie defeats me, then we just got the round robin cycle just continuing on and on. And then Group C, yes, because Group B and D are already settled. So let's go to Group C here, and we're going to be seeing Gimchi, Mong, and Free. Now Gimchi, I can't believe how well he did inside of his group. Showed some really solid play, and a really epic game against Hyuk. And so, I don't know if he'll advance, but if he plays as well he has been doing, then I wouldn't be surprised if he does advance out of this group, and it would be one of the most well-deserved round of 8 placements of any player in this tournament. Definitely the underdog here against Mong and Free, who have been competing non-stop in tournaments lately, and Mong, who has just been a monster and getting to round of 4 into so many. But unfortunately, Mong is due because he can never seem to get to the finals and hasn't won a tournament in, I don't know, several years, I guess. I believe he at least has 1 tournament win before all the StarCraft 2 players retired and came back to play in this SOSPA era. Let's see here. It says he's got a bronze, yeah, bronze, silver. Okay, so his last silver placement was in the 2012-2013 11th SRT. If you guys aren't familiar with that acronym, that's the SOSPA ranking tournament. And the SRTs were super popular tournaments that Sonic held out of his own pocket. He would supply the prize money and just cast all of these awesome Sonic ranking tournaments in the past. But unfortunately, we just don't have those anymore. And why they were so special is because it was a few of the top players mixed in with a lot of the, you know, semi-pro, casual, not as good players that were just kind of up and coming. And that's where someone like Mong really got the shine. Okay, so it looks like we have Movie on the right here. And looking pretty solid. Actually, the last time we saw Movie on Sunday, he looked like he was in a really good mood. Like he found that he was in that solid place where he just knew he was going to win that day. This time, I don't know if I sense that as much, but he looks like he is ready to game here. And look at this crowd. Everybody's ready for just hours upon hours of StarCraft. Gotta be super excited about that. So Sack versus Movie first. This is going to be absolutely exciting. And thank you. Our stats guy, BlindRar, is going to be in the Twitch chat here. So I'm sure he'll be providing everybody with awesome information. And this song that they have created for this intro, absolutely awesome. If you go to the LR thread, someone actually posted a YouTube video. And I watched that song like 3 or 4 times at least now. Very entertaining. Okay, so going into game number 1, it seems like they're just not going to wait at all. They don't want to stall, knowing how long these could possibly take. We're going to be spawning on La Mancha. Down at the bottom left will be our Terran player, Sack. Yeah, that's a pretty good spawn position for a Terran player to be in. Now, spawning at the top right, that will be our Protoss player, Movie, who's going to advance here. I gotta say, I did not like how I saw Sack play last game, and I'm going to go ahead and pick the upset and say that Movie's going to win here on La Mancha. And that's going to send our whole entire group into a tizzy. I mean, even though Movie may be, I guess, the underdog in this group, I feel like he's definitely going to take game 1, but will probably lose out afterward. Okay, that being said, and we see this SCV putting up a supply depot, and you know this is gonna be a mech style build for Terran. Obviously, in the TVP, it's less of a mystery in the TVP matchup than it is in TVZ, and sometimes I like that because you just kind of know what to expect, and then you're more awed about what kind of strategy they're gonna do with mech, because how is it gonna look different this game than any other game that this player's played on? Because Movie's got tons of experience playing on La Mancha, so Sack's got to find some variation that's going to screw with whatever game plan Movie has. But okay, so we're seeing the bunker come up here on top of the ramp, and the probe is already out very quickly, and I don't know if that means we're going to see some forward gates or if there's just going to be a quick scout here, because if there was some sort of wall off, then I guess a Movie wouldn't be able to scout out and see what Sack has going on inside of his base. Oh, and of course, flashing Korean signs that no one can read. Not even the Koreans. That was a very hard sign to read there. I guess he didn't need to have that blinking so much. Oh, and look at that. SCV is being pulled to take out this probe. It's being quite a nuisance here. Might be able to take out that SCV. But no, the probe is going to be inside of this base. Another supply depot coming down on the top of the ramp here. And you know what? Sometimes you send up that probe to harass the worker and block any buildings from being built on top of that ramp if you went like a forward 2 gate. Because then you would be able to run your zealots in without the wall off being complete. I've seen Bisu do that in a couple games. I remember the last time I saw him do that was on the map Avalon, I believe. Some KSL map. Oh, those KSL maps were the worst, weren't they? Anybody else remember the crazy maps? Oh my goodness. So, if you guys have any problems with the sound, I didn't really ask here. Just let me know, and I'll adjust it. I haven't used my stream on this computer really live at all. This is completely new. Okay, so the expansion is down for Movie. That's not a surprise here, and I love that he got the Zealot out here to harass. That's all it's going to do. It's not supposed to be some game-ending Zealot, but He's just getting up there. He's poking around and actually does manage to keep it alive, which will be useful. Okay, yeah, I understand that there is this demand for new and exciting maps. And even like the Team Liquid Legacy Cup is using like really old maps in order to refresh the map pool. It's like using old ones as new ones in a sense. But there are some good maps out there by map makers that just haven't really been picked up by anybody. And I would like to see a scene develop around these new maps. So hopefully that can happen. Oh, look at that. That guy's so happy to be on camera here. Okay. It looked like he drew a stick figure man with no legs. That's just horrible. Okay, that pylon coming down. And he's just trying to make that choke point a little bit smaller here, because eventually vultures are going to be out for the Terran player. And oh my god, no one wants to deal with vultures. Remember the vultures on Circuit Breaker? This round of 16 has just been plagued with Protoss players playing terrible against brilliant vulture play. Mong especially did really good in that game against Free with his TVP. I was so impressed by the 3, 4, sometimes 5 locations that he had vultures attacking at the same time. And it's really going to just stretch your ability to macro and manage and use your crisis management well. Oh, wow, that vulture picking off the probe. Very nice play. Getting its first kill of the game. It is now a veteran. It has gotten rid of its fresh blood. That is a pro vulture indeed. Okay, so the armory coming up too. And it looks like he's probably going to stay on one armory. It's actually a really fast one in my opinion. He doesn't even have his second command center yet. The command center is just now getting floated over to this natural base, and his expansion will be coming up. So this is going to be a really aggressive +1 timing attack from Sack. I feel like he's not even thinking, okay, what am I going to do once I get to a third base? Sack has got to be thinking here, I'm going to really get aggressive off these 2 bases with this +1 timing. And the observer's obviously showing some really good spots to place those spider mines at that third base, so you know exactly when the Nexus is going to be put down, because Protoss is going to have to either micro some Dragoons or bring over an observer to clear out that mine. Well, the observatory is coming out, and it's pretty standard. That's actually a late range attack for the Dragoon. It seems like Movie wanted to get his gas out earlier by going for that robotics facility, and I know that he put down the observatory, but maybe he's going to go for some sort of shuttle play with that extra gas that he saved by not researching range as early as he could have. Yes, guys, this is Sack versus Movie, and I welcome you to the round of 16 tiebreakers day. This can go as long as these players refuse to die. That's pretty much how it's going to go today. And look at this, some starport play. The starport coming up really fast, and I don't think... What if he went for +1 attack air upgrades on the Wraiths and went for like some sort of Wraith build? That would be super sneaky. I mean, I'm just trying to theorycraft here about why he would be bringing up the starport this fast, unless he really is just going into... The science vessels just don't seem needed at this point in the game. So, okay, we're just going to sit that one on the back burner right now. No need to scrutinize on it, because we're going to see eventually why this starport is here and what its usefulness will be. Oh, and of course that same vulture has 2 kills now. What an awesome vulture. So the third base is going to be coming up for Movie. He's going to be taking that 3 o'clock expansion, and I think that's the right way to go here. Not a terribly hard expansion to hold, as long as you build that pylon wall correctly. Maybe put an additional cannon if you know that you're losing a lot of prods because you can't have your army in the right place. Very frustrating. I understand the trade-offs of not having static defense. You're thinking, okay, the less static defense, the more I have going into my military. But the trade-off of losing workers and not losing workers because you have a few cannons is absolutely huge in my opinion. So that's where I sit on that, and maybe that's why I'm not the best player in the world, because I have to I have to turtle up a little bit even as a Protoss player. Okay, so the starport is going to be going for these science vessels. And this is just a really fast science vessel timing. And I guess the kind of cool thing about it is not only will he have like really early EMPs to just like completely eliminate and shut down Arbiter play, but on top of that, he can, if he does go for a push, use D-Matrix pretty effectively because he'll have those science vessels out probably in a higher number than the Arbiters before Movie will have them out. But there will be this 3-base economy here, and look at that. Exactly what I said. Throwing down those pylons, going to be able to block off that bridge, and now completely rendering it useless against Vultures. Because Vultures just, they can't take down buildings that quickly. Okay, so the +1 attack is done. And ooh, a DT's been slipped out of the base of Movie. And where is it going to go? Oh, the Observer does get taken out. Now Movie's not going to know exactly where he could run his DT into. But he knows that there is a... oh my god, he knows that there's a science vessel and he's got to keep that DT alive. Oh, and look at that, he's going to kill off the SCV. And that actually is going to reveal that the DT is there. I don't know if Movie actually wanted to attack that worker. And now the science vessel's in a great spot to detect any Dark Templars around his base. This is huge. I think Movie made a huge mistake there by giving away the fact that his DT could attack. Okay, so the single Stargate is starting to pump out what I would believe is Arbiters. He may need a second Stargate eventually if he wants to get enough Arbiters out to battle in this game. I feel like one Stargate for Arbiters is always just way too low. The build time for one of those units is just extremely slow. And oh my god, Ob sniping again, exactly quoted out of the Twitch chat here. That is exactly what Sack's doing. Oh my goodness, look at that. The Goliath's going to work here. Meanwhile, a third command center is getting put down. The upgrades going on for the science vessel, and Sack is looking really solid in this game so far. Still, there haven't been any huge trades, no deathly blows. Both players are fine as far as economy and army goes. It's just these little battles that are just morale battles, I'm going to call them, in this game that it looks like Sack seems to just barely be winning them out. Okay, so it looks like what Sack's game plan is to establish an infrastructure, a building line between his natural and his third base. And it's such an important thing for a Terran player to do this. And really one of the players who is great at it, and obviously this is redundant to say, but Flash, he does a great job of knowing how to spread out his supply depots and turrets between the third and the natural. So that way he can put his tanks behind them, strategically spread them out, and really interrupt any sort of engaging Protoss army. So there's always a timing though as a Protoss player where you max out and you can try and dive in and wreck the Terran army as this infrastructure is trying to be built up. But it looks like Sack is just going to be finishing it up maybe just in time. He does have that bunker finishing right now. His tanks are really close in position. 3 tanks are stasis now, and it looks like the Protoss army will flank from the top. The Dragoons and the Zealots are running in. The Zealots are going to be taking up these shots here. Are they going to be enough? It looks like the Protoss army looking so strong here. That stasis paying off so well, and only a few Vultures doing shots at the front. The Dragoons with their range are going to be able to fire over the supply depots, do a lot of damage here, and the Zealots are attacking supply depots. I don't agree with that decision here, but still, maybe he's just going to get some sort of crazy supply block. Movie's push, though, still doing pretty good. A couple tanks are alive, and once the stasis does come undone, it might be enough to clean up. The re-macro Sack, I feel like, should be enough to take care of this, but this was significant damage to Sack's army. It kills any sort of optional push that Sack may have wanted, and Movie now, playing so well, he will take the lead in this game as he pushes forward and shows his aggression. This is looking crazy here. +2 attack though for the Terran player, +1 armor. These upgrades are absolutely huge, and I think that's going to be what may allow Movie to survive this little bit of harassment that is still coming on his army here. But Movie is going to have to pull back. He still has his Arbiters alive. Fortunately, he did not lose them. And the Zealots are getting cleaned up at the third base, but still another attack is coming in. There's no Goliaths to clean up this air. It's just all ground units at this time. The Zealots, though, running in with their beautiful enhanced speed, just taking out all these units. Just stacks and stacks of them. Meanwhile, Movie has taken and secured a fourth base. This is what Protoss players haven't been able to do in the round of 16. They haven't been able to take that fourth base while attacking, because there's always been that constant counter-attacking Vulture harass. Movie is showing you that if you can actually take a dagger to the heart of the Terran and apply enough pressure, they're going to bleed out and they won't have time to be able to do these counterattacks with their Vultures. And if you're playing a drinking game with my casting, yes, you better take another shot, because I will say dagger a lot, because it is my sneaky way of implementing Bisu into my cast. Okay, so there looks like an Arbiter coming down to the right side. It's going to get scouted out by these Spider Mines, but maybe Sack's not going to be aware. He's got so much going on at this time. He's got to rebuild that infrastructure that I was talking about, and High Templars coming out for Movie. So as long as those can get energy, we can go see that Jongbi-style Protoss play where just storms rain across the Terran army. Oh, this is a great game, guys. I love a good TVP on La Mancha. The probe transfer finished up to this fourth base, defended with cannons. I'm sure he's going to take that gas soon. And 4-base gas economy is just going to be absolutely scary for the Protoss player. Okay, so here is another observer coming in, just slowly making its way, meandering into that third base territory. And is it going to get scouted out again? Seems like Movie's had the worst luck with that specific unit in this game. Can't keep them observers alive. So it looks like Vultures coming into that natural base, and a really low tank count, which is what Movie wanted to do. Oh, EMP! Look at that. Was not paying attention. Almost lost his Arbiter too, but he managed to keep it alive, and that means it is not going to be useless. A live observer is better than no observer. A live Arbiter is better than no Arbiter. And yes, it is 6:30 in the morning. Thank you guys for listening to my cast. We've got at least another 2 hours of casting available. Okay, so we're looking at this 3-base economy is still what's fueling Sack. He's got to start thinking, what am I going to do? How am I going to take a 4th base? And I'm thinking for Sack, as weird as it might sound, while that 6 looks like an appetizing base to expand to, Sack might want to just occupy the entire left side of the map. But he's probably going to go for the 6. I really would prefer he clear out that 10 o'clock base and go for the 10 o'clock. But that's just my opinion here. And thank you, Scan, for watching the cast. If you guys aren't aware, Scan's going to be one of the top players competing in the Legacy Cup. And I hope that one of you guys can come up with a great build to take him on, whether it's in a best of 1 or a best of 3. This is Sack versus Movie for you guys just coming in. This Group A is Mind, Sack, and Movie. And whoever wins here will be playing Mind. And if they can defeat Mind, we'll advance first in this round of 16. Oh, here comes the recall. He manages to get all the units inside, but they're just going to be fodder to the tanks here. With the Arbiter taken out, they're completely visible. They're not going to be able to do anything. Another Arbiter coming in. What is this mistake? What is Movie doing? Oh my goodness. Throwing the game. Losing 2 Arbiters. What a huge mistake. What is going on? Is Movie just losing his mind here? This is what is going to trigger the counterattack. +3 attack, +2 armor for this mech Terran. Are you kidding me? Sack is on the move. He knows that he can now go to the throat of Movie and take him out. Movie, meanwhile, is expanded to the top left. I don't think he can hold either of his bases. This is crazy. Okay, the base... This is such a strong looking army. Movie's so behind on upgrades, only with +2 attack, still trying to do what he can to stay in this game. But I just don't think he has the army count right now. Can he even re-macro up in time to combat at all? The Vultures running into the top left here. How many SCVs have been transferred? Vultures taking out cannons. What are we seeing, guys? This has been such a turnaround and such a quick play. Wow. Okay, so High Templar play might be what can get him back into this game, but he's got to be careful. The minefields are absolutely insane. And a stasis on a science vessel, not really anything useful right now. Kind of a wasted stasis because he wasn't going to engage. Wow. So this is so typical. Guys, we saw Movie throw a game earlier where he had practically won it with carriers. And still with like 15 carriers in a control group. Well, I guess you can't have 15 in one control group. But in control groups, he lost them and eventually died. Oh, here comes the engagement though. The Zealots at the front running down this little slope, which actually is considered a high ground advantage. Another EMP going off, eliminating the shields of the Protoss player here. The Nexus taken out at the 12 o'clock location. So Protoss looking like they're in a really bad position here. Movie doesn't have any expansions down to the bottom right. Sack's not even going to try to expand. I mean, he may be able to float a command center to one place if he decides to, but he can win out if he continues to apply pressure with these bases. Movie, that's what he's got to do, is just play the outlasting game. If he can get another Nexus up, then he can survive and outlast Terran by just having more economy. But there's no way for him to turtle up. He lost these Nexi, I guess you would say is plural of Nexus. And his natural and his main have practically mined out. His third looks like it's about to mine out. This is just absolutely a rollover, choke, whatever you want to guys want to call it. This has just been a complete throw for Movie in this game. Okay, so 3-3 is done for Terran. I mean, just click on a Terran unit and see 3-3, and if you have 0-0-2, GG right away. Don't even bother. Don't stay in the game. I don't care if you have more bases. I don't care if they have one unit and you have 20. This is just insurmountable upgrade advantage, and I love that fast armory style for Sack. It's really showing that it's been able to pay off here. Oh, another stasis, but he does lose to Arbiter. The range plus the attack damage of those Goliaths, only a few of them, and they still took out so quickly. But a huge push here. The storms are going off. Can he embrace the Zhongbi style Protoss play? Pushing in here with Dragoons now. It looks like he's going to clean up a lot of these units. Oh my goodness. Beautiful play by Movie, but still, Sack, he's got that advantage. He's still hiding over that little ridge, and he's got a ton of tanks in the background. There's no Zealots here, and Movie's going to have to retreat one more time before he can push out. And these tanks, they're going to go in tank mode. They're going to push the entire Protoss army back, and it looks like another flank is going to be coming up. Is there an Arbiter here to stasis this field? The Science Vessel there waiting to EMP. Oh, two Arbiters on the prowl, looking for the best position for them to get that stasis off. Okay, so I would say that was a pretty good engagement by Movie, but it wasn't enough because he doesn't have the economy to re-macro. And that's really what the issue is. He lost those bases, and he's not able to stay toe-to-toe with Sack. So Sack moving forward here again with his huge tank line. And maybe Movie should have gone carriers in this game. He at least looked like he was closer to winning when he went to carriers. Oh, look at that. The BM Command Center landing inside of the Protoss base. That is Sack saying, "You get out, Movie." The single tank stasis. Okay, so he does stasis those tanks over there too, but trust me, that cost him twice the stasis energy. He couldn't have gotten the range of all of those tanks at once. So pushing in here, using Archons to tank here. And as soon as these shields die, so do the Archons. Some decent storms again, but the Vultures, they're just going to slightly push forward and ignore it. GG! That's it. Game one's over. Looks like Sack has the advantage as he wins game number 1. And we will be seeing shortly a TVT in game number 2. Oh man, what a game, guys, what a game. And look at these pictures. Okay, look at Sack's picture here. He's got a mustache, a full Manchu, and a little goatee. Awesome. Yes, next we will be seeing Sack versus Mind. Now, I'm assuming that they're going to play out all of Group A before they go to Group C. But maybe they're going to give Sack a rest and go to Group C and play out Group C's matchup. I'm very curious to see if they do that, which would be interesting on its own because we wouldn't know the result of Group A as quickly, which would be kind of antagonizing. I absolutely want to see the results of Group A. What a good first game. We really know exactly what the killing blow was for Movie. He sent in those horrible recalls, and he wasn't behind. He had those 2 extra bases. So, Movie, what a disappointing game in the end for him. That was just really sad. So I do have my coffee here. Got a little bit cold. That was a long game, but can still sip on it in enjoyment. Let's read what people are saying in the LR chat here. If you guys aren't posting in the LR, you're not cool. Stands for live report thread. Let's see. Yeah, people laughing at Movie. LOL Movie. Horrible control for Movie. Movie just threw everything away. Movie was strategically speaking ahead, but in mechanic part, he wasn't up to the challenge. Yes, there's an entire page dedicated to WTF Movie. Hilarious. Now's the perfect time if you guys think I'm either too loud or the stream is too loud to adjust it. So you guys let me know. But I thank you all for listening. I'm casting from the beautiful beaches of Jacksonville, Florida in the United States, if you guys didn't know where I lived. And today, I will be working with several visiting Boeing employees to discuss how we want to design and move forward with the 787. And that is the trainer I am currently developing, is the Boeing 787. Pretty neat looking plane. LOL Florida. Hey, come on now. Okay, Florida is an interesting state. If you guys aren't aware or read the news in the United States, Florida has the most face-palm worthy stories of all time. And they just do. But, I mean, on the other hand, there are reasonable people in Florida, I promise you. We're just plagued by those who are stupid. Let me see something here. Let me go to the Google. People of Florida. Because, like, if you guys have ever been to the People of Walmart website, now that's a pretty hilarious website. It's all sorts of just slummy people wearing the worst outfits, kids just being in the worst situations. Yeah, so go to the People of Walmart website. That's a pretty good one. But I know there's like a People of Florida website where it's like the worst Florida stories in the world. Oh man, this Pro League commercial right now is making me a little sad. Look, Espinu has a team. They have a Pro League team. But not for StarCraft 1.
우리 모두에게 보여지는 악성 댓글과 게시글 어떻게 생각하시나요? 나의 글은 나의 얼굴입니다.
Oh, okay, yeah. Some people are saying that on Reddit. There's a slash Florida man. Yeah, there is a complete forum dedicated to that. Oh, How do you guys feel about the Reddit woman CEO who seems to be making really questionable decisions and completely is running Reddit into the ground? I guess apparently they are not a forum of freedom of speech and now want to start policing Reddit a lot harder. I think that will kill maybe a niche community, but for the most part, people aren't on Reddit because they want to be like V for Vendetta and just like show the world that they can say anything they want, but instead actually just want to have some pretty good discussions, and that forum's designed pretty well for that. So I think overall it's not a big deal that she said that. But she did fire like one of their best people for Reddit, who was doing really well at promoting their website. So that was the only thing that she's really done that was a mistake. Oh, that woman stepped down already? Okay, I did not know that. Must be someone new. I know I read a story just like last week about Reddit, but oh well, I don't pay attention that closely to Reddit. Oh, here we go. Looking at the replay here. This was such a good push for a movie. I really like what he did initially here with these zealots getting into the tanks here. And he even came in with a few dragoons. This is where he screws up, though. Right here with the Arbiter coming in, taken out immediately, and then he follows it with another Arbiter. Are they going to show the second Arbiter here? It comes in right north of this base, right north. Here it comes, and take it out. Did you see how quickly that died? Oh, instantaneously. So three Arbiters down, 4 Arbiters down. God, that's a lot of gas. That's a lot of time to get more Arbiters here. This was good. Watch the storms here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really solid 4, 5 storms. 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 storms. Really good ones. But unfortunately, movie, that was a desperate engagement there. He had to. He had to win right there, and he didn't. Alright, I'm eager to see who's in the booth. Is it going to be Group C, or are we going to continue with Group A? Oh man, that guy's got a sandwich. I'm so jelly right now. Could totally use some good noms. Oh, they all got sandwiches. What? What? Where's my studio sandwich? Come on. OGN, you're not supplying the English caster with food. I need my grub. Oh, looks like we're going to continue with Group A. We're going to ride this baby out until the end. Okay, so we are seeing Sack remaining in the left side booth. That would make sense because he's got everything configured. And now, all he has to do is one small task, is defeat Mind, who actually beat him. The reason why Sack is here is because he lost a game with some very questionable decision making in a TVT versus Mind. What map are we going to be on? Could be Heartbreak Ridge. Could be Circuit Breaker. Could be Jade. Guys, a TVT on Heartbreak Ridge. Please, 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 please. Everybody, come on. Let's cheer for Heartbreak Ridge. Troll the world. Oh, what is that smile coming from? Oh, Sack just made fun of Mine's mama. That ain't cool. You know, they actually do sit in a chat room before they go into the game, and they can see each other typing messages. So you can totally mind game your opponent while you're waiting in the booth. Oh yeah. Sick intro, sick countdown. Here it goes. 3, 2, 1. Yes, guys, yes. Guess what? It's a TVT on Heartbreak Ridge. Oh my. Okay. So it looks like we're probably going to have Sack on the left. Let's see. Mine on the right. We're going to have to wait for the names to pop up here. But it looks like that would be the case. That would make things very easy and less confusing for me too. Okay, so Sack is going to be spawning at the 9 o'clock location. He will be that white Terran versus Mind, who will be the spawning Terran at the 3 o'clock position. A TVT on this map, guys. This is wild. It's not an entirely big map. I mean, it does have a lot of surface space, but you know, the push between the bases is actually not that big. And if this game goes all the way to the late game, we could see them battling for the middle base. It's just, where do you go for your third on this map? As a Terran player, you take that bottom, you go all the way down. Okay, so not your third. I'm sorry, I'm thinking even further ahead. Where do you go for your fourth base? If this goes beyond 3 bases, where's the fourth base going to be taken? Okay, so look at this. Both players sending out their SCVs. Is this to scout out cheese? Or are both players actually going to cheese here? Oh my. Okay, so the barracks is being... What? What? Are you guys kidding me? So both players are building their barracks in an unorthodox spot. Okay, the gas is coming up at the same time here. What is going on? I'm totally confused. I think maybe they're building a forward barracks so they can use it for scouts at some point. But is there going to be a rush behind this? Mind might build an additional barracks. That would be the only thing. If he... What is he going to do after this barracks finishes up in the middle of the map? Still, nothing looks fully committal. No, Sack is the white Terran player. He is on the left side, while Movie is on the right side. He is the blue Terran. Okay, so now another scout is coming, and the barracks is floating. He could have built the barracks closer if he wanted to, and the factory being built in each other's bases. So it looks like they will just be using the barracks to scout for either player. Kind of what I expected. They wanted to build it close, but not too close, you know. And that means there will be no Marines out. Okay, Mind actually built a Marine first to keep in his base. And that's really smart. He only needed 1 Marine. 1 to kill off the scout here. He can keep the SCV away. And then he could actually target down the barracks if it floats around inside of his base. Meanwhile, I did not see a Marine for Sack. So we're going to have to wait and see. Meanwhile, the command center should be popping down very shortly here. It's going to be just a factory expand build. Not even a siege expand. And, oh wow, so Mind actually taking the lead here because he got the command center down first and now actually harassed that SCV to prevent the command center getting down at an optimal time for Sack. This is going to be a little bit drawn out in the beginning. I know that some of you guys are really concerned about TVTs because you either hate them or you love them. But TVTs are absolutely fascinating. I think the first 10 minutes of a TVT, if players decide to go aggressive and like proxy and stuff, is some of the most exciting all-in-ish, you know, cheesing style of TVT. And then you get to like kind of mid to late game TVT where it's really boring. And then it kind of fizzles out. And then you get late TVT. The kind where you just stay up all night, watching it, loving it, appreciating how long it can go. So it looks like we're going to be starting out with the Vulture Wars here. Yeah, these Marines are turning out very, very useful here. Nice to have them done to clear out that barracks. Oh, the barracks that landed. What is going on here? Ew, he's trying to keep the opening available, so he's going to eventually lift it once the Vulture is there. That's what he's going for. And now the Vultures are going to try and get inside here. The SCVs are going to be going towards that natural base. And Maybe he was preventing the vultures from coming out. Maybe I had that backwards. I thought he was going to rush in with some vultures here, and that's what his play was going to be. But no, instead he actually wanted to prevent the workers from mining at the natural base. How hilarious is that? That's actually really smart by Movie. Man, you just don't see these things every day, and sometimes you just have to think about them pretty deeply. What a smart decision for Movie to land that barracks at the choke point. That is really cool thinking. And that is like the second or third time that I've been really impressed by Mind in this tournament. He's shown some really neat moves in this round of 16 and in the qualifier rounds to get to the round of 16 here. Okay, so quite a bit of vultures are out for Sack. And if you guys remember Sack... Oh, I said Movie instead of Mind. Oh, they're all in the same group. It doesn't matter. They all start with M's. Oh, well. If you guys remember Sack versus Last, it was huge. Huge Vulture versus Vulture games in the Game 4 and Game 5. And I would like to see Sack come out with that heavy Vulture aggression style because it was super deadly for him. And I wonder if that will be able to take out Mind. Okay. The nice Vulture wall on that natural base. And I did get it right this time. I am saying Mind. Early in the morning, though, guys. Early in the morning. Actually, this is about the time that I'm getting ready for work. Generally start at about 7 o'clock hour. So actually not too bad. I'm going to need a second coffee, though, for sure. Okay, so thinking about the third base here, you got to take the additional base at the top or the bottom. If you're looking at Mind, he's going to want to take that 1 o'clock base there. But these players, they really shouldn't go for that third command center until they have enough mech to really secure just their main and natural. The second gas coming up now, and that's going to be really key. Does Mind have his gas yet? It doesn't look like he's mining from his additional geyser. And I feel like having that gas lead is actually pretty significant. Especially if one of the players decides to go for, Wraith play. Get some starports out, go for air. And the Wraith TVT is some of the coolest TVT in my opinion. I think it's a nice change up from just that ground style, completely turtle until you occupy the whole map type play. And it's something that's been really popularized since right at the end of the Kespa era and right from the beginning of the Sospa era. Sack versus C has some of the best Wraith TVT that I've ever seen. If you guys have not seen that tournament, it's one of the Sonic ranking tournaments, I believe. It may have been a SSL, but I'm not sure. Maybe SSL 8 or 7, where they played out a best of 5 series. That was one of the best TVT series in the past couple years. So looking at the positioning, Sack really has himself in a good spot. He's got the most map vision, and that's where I consider yourself the most winning player in a TVT where there's not constant fighting, is how much vision does the Terran player have. Oh, and look at the race for Mind just kind of scooting across the army. Sack's not going to care. He has only ground targeting units, and the Wraiths are going to make it into this natural base and start doing their attack. Meanwhile, a nice minefield for Mind. He's going to have to hold here. Of course, vultures can just kind of hover right over this little hump here. But with a scan or whatever, they can clear out that minefield if they want to. That looked pretty scary for tanks to drive over. Terrans don't treat minefields the same way Protoss does. They send in a couple of their just peasant zealots across the minefields and say, just go ahead and take them out. I don't have time to defuse these with Dragoon fire. We're just going to run through them. No. Vultures say, let's just hover over everything. I mean, imagine if we got some hover boots for the zealots. That would be pretty cool. Kind of like Jupiter Ascending. I don't know if any of you guys saw that, but some pretty rad hover boots in that movie. It was like rollerblade hover boots. So it looks like Mind is going to be holding off in the middle of the map here. Maybe he wants to take that expansion. That would be the worst decision any Terran player can make in this game right now. And his Wraith production has seemed to have stopped. Still no third whatsoever for either player. Not even a command center being built. Oh, and here comes the dropship. I would like to see what Mind can actually get away with on this dropship here. And really, it's got to be Vultures. Usually you go with the 2 Vultures tank combo. But I feel like, can he even hide a tank in a good spot to siege up? I don't know if he could get a tank back there. But the Vultures, yes, he went for all Vultures. And that was the best decision here. And it's going to be really hard to take these Vultures out because they're in such a nook and cranny that it's going to force Sack to take a bunch of his army back to kill off these Vultures. Oh, and the dropship's going to get out of there safely. So Mind pushing, applying some pressure, and Sack eventually pushing him back. Oh, and no expansion once again. The Vultures are going to shut down that command center down at the bottom left. So it's 7 o'clock in lockdown. Meanwhile, a command center at the top left? Oh, those Goliaths! What were they looking for? Maybe they were looking for the dropship here. This is going to be absolutely crazy. If a command center gets down and actually is able to mine at the 11 o'clock position, Mind would be an absolute genius Terran. And that's throwback for you. So is there a Terran player from the Kespa era who had the nickname Genius Terran? And who was that Terran? That's a little bit of trivia for you guys. Go ahead, post that in the Twitch chat. Okay, so Mind is going to be able to take that that 1 o'clock base. His 3rd CC going up. Meanwhile, something weird going on here. I guess the Vulture's sitting there at the that mineral line, just kind of camping there, not doing anything really. And okay, there is only one Genius Terran. Rewarded fool. You have said that the Genius Terran is Nada. I believe you are correct. Only one genius. And now Zealous was perfect Terran. Okay. Now there actually was a perfect Protoss player. His name was Perfect. Now, what was Perfect's other name? Because he has 2 AKAs. And I believe Perfect played for Hwasong Oz or whatever. I always say OZ. It's just a habit. I've said it in my head for so many years as OZ instead of Oz. That's just the way it is. Okay, so Mind, it looks like he's going to be able to come in here again with his Vultures. And how many SCV kills is he going to get? Keeping that SCV count down going to be so important here. Killing the SCV, building the refinery too. Really good kill there. And it looks like eventually the Vultures will kill off this skirmish. Now, what I didn't like is that Mind should have just continued to target the SCVs and consider those Vultures a lost cause instead of trying to trade Vultures with other Vultures. He should have just tried to get that worker count down as low as possible. And to answer, Perfect Man is actually the full name of the Protoss player that I was talking about. Thank you, Blind Rar, for pointing that out. Oh, triple dropship here, guys. Triple dropship. 4 tanks, 2 Goliaths, 2 Vultures. A nice mix of army here. And how much is going to get done? It looks like a Sack behind this is going to go for a counter push, but he's actually being indecisive. He doesn't know exactly what he wants to do. And Mind, he's going to have an advantage here. Whoever generally has this dropship advantage is the person who's the most mobile and can deal with the Terran armies the best because they can deal with many multiple pronged engagements. So Mind's doing a really good job of taking this map, and this is not looking good for Sack. Right now, his army is completely losing position here. He's giving away the entire right side of the map that he was about to push into. No way! GG! What? What? How did that happen so quickly? That was a frustration, GG. I feel like, oh my god. Guys, he wasn't that far behind until that drop. Oh my god. Wow. That was beautiful. There's nothing else to say about that game. Mine just completely outplayed Sack, and oh man. This is gonna get worse, because why? It's mine versus Movie next, and I can't seem to get the players' names correct. Oh my goodness. How did he not deal with that drop? Why didn't he have a turret there, or some sort of units to deal with it? Why didn't he put spider mines in his main base? That was insane. Alright guys, it's commercial break. I'm gonna let you mull over what the hell just happened on Heartbreak Ridge. Gonna get some coffee. I'll be right back. Also, reading some drama in the Team Liquid Legacy Cup thread. Pretty interesting here.
그래서 우리는 시작합니다. 지하철에서 접속자가 많아도 실시간 야구 중계를 끊김없이, 그것도 무료로.
세계 최초 올레 파워 라이브.
몰래 기가 LT. 몰래.
저 하고 싶어요. 하러 가요. 하고 싶다고요. 하고 싶다고요. 남들 다 하는데? 하니까 재밌죠? 앙큼달랄 RPG 갓오브 하이스쿨 킹동 플레스 유.
나의 스파크는 새로운 출발. 일요일 오후.
내 스파크는 히어로. 한 번도 안 가본 길? 둘만의 데이트. 당신의
스파크는
2015년 7월 당신이 꿈꾸던 경차의 시작. Chevrolet Find New Roads.
피자, 족발, 보쌈. 너도 배달 음식 땡기지?
집에서는 절대 만들 수 없는 맛이야.
막타 부분만 더.
서버 점검 중입니다. 모바일 AS 게임 대인 클럽. 지금 다운받으세요.
재밌지? 네 누나.
물에도 당당하게. 스타일에서 앞선다. 스페노 스플래시.
360 시큐리티로 더 빠르게, 더 안전하게. 시큐어 모바일 라이프 360 시큐리티.
The battle for the Halcyon Fold has begun. Enemy is getting ridiculous.
I can track them by their fear. I'll hold back. It's more entertaining that way.
Miners have unearthed the Kraken. Aced.
That's gonna leave a mark.
team has unleashed the Kraken. Enemy turret destroyed. Enemy vein turret destroyed. Victory.
긴급 체포합니다. 지금부터 하는 모든 말은 법정에서 불리하게 작용할 수 있습니다.
조태호 씨 재밌게 사시네요.
쟤는 짓고 살지 맙시다.
나한테로 뒷감 당할 수 있겠어요?
니들 돈으로 어디까지 막을 수 있을 것 같아?
상냥한 형사 신분으로 어디까지 밀어붙일 수 있을 것 같은데.
판 뒤집혔다. 베테랑. 한상 위에 바람을 일으킨다. 전신 조훈현. 목숨을 걸고 둔다. 불사조 조치훈. 전관왕을 달성하고 대삼관에 오르는 동안에도 그들은 언제나 서로를 꿈꿨다. 화려함과 투혼이 만나는 순간, 오랜 기다림이 이제 역사의 한 페이지가 된다. 한국 현대바둑 70주년 특별 대구 조훈현 대 조치훈.
캐리어 가고 싶다. 이미 캐리어 가고 있지만 더 격렬하게 캐리어 가고 싶다. 캐리어가 알아서 쓸어주니까 쉬우니까 캐리어다. 즐기자 캐리어. 스타 뒷담화.
Looks like we'll be coming back to the cast very shortly, guys. Thank you all for hanging out with me. We are watching the SSL 11 round of 16 tiebreakers. This is day 7, and possibly more games tomorrow too. That's actually a really big question here. And if you look at the stream listings for the next SSL, it has round of 8 with the question mark. So thank you for putting that on there regardless. I'm pretty sure that was Preach, but I could be wrong. Let me go here and look. Who was nice enough to put that on there? Yep, it was our very own Liquid Staff.
정말 팽팽했었습니다. 그런데 그 팽팽함의 균형을 내기 시작한 박성규 선수의 벌처.
Looking at Sonic's channel, 5,496 people watching Sonic's channel, but I'm sure there's way many more Koreans watching this live at home on their TVs. I'd like to see the ratings from this.
이런 식으로 또는 드랍십을 활용해서요.
We will be keeping our eyes peeled for when the next cast will be. Hey, and guess what? If I gotta be up at midnight tonight to cast more StarCraft, I'm all in. So, to give a little bit of promotion, the Team Liquid Legacy Cup is being played this Saturday. For those of you who may have missed it, get on Team Liquid and read the news. Get up to date. And guess what? XKCD, myself, Sale, and I don't know about Elegant. Unconfirmed Elegant will all be casting Saturday, bringing you the best games possible. And then Sale will round up the round of 4 and the finals in his best casting fashion possible. So all that hype for just foreign Brood War, foreign competitiveness, and Sale. Okay, let's see how the booths are aligned. I imagine mine will be on the right side, Movie on the left. Movie played a really good game.
가느냐 아니면 이대로 끝내느냐 이 두 선수의
Yep, movie is going to be on the left side here. And guys, who are you cheering for here? Do you want mine to advance? Or are you going to cheer for movie? Are you cheering for the KT Terran? Or are you cheering for movie? The hero Protoss player. Now, I was forgetting. So, movie was with CJ Entes, but he was with Team 8 at the end, which is what I wanted to say. So, movie, the Team 8 Protoss player. He didn't do really well on Team 8. It was kind of unfortunate. Actually, Jaehoon was the best Protoss player on Team 8. How hilarious was that? Do you guys remember how good Team 8 was supposed to be? It was, wasn't it Jaedong, Baby, C, like all these ridiculous players all on one team. Oh man. Yeah, exactly. Blind Rar, I was going for the most recent teams that they retired from, just to clear that up and make me sound a little less unknowledgeable. So, top right, circuit breaker, Terran player, it is going to be Mind. Meanwhile, down at the bottom left, once the camera does switch over, once it switches over, eventually, we will know. We can't confirm. Could be a Terran player, could be a Zerg player down at the bottom left. We cannot confirm it until we see it. You know, that's a good point, Greg J. Saying everyone on Team 8 had all their best friends made unemployed. That's actually something I never really considered, is the fact that, yeah, a good chunk of all the people that they lived with did not get to remain in the StarCraft scene because it was just unaffordable. Okay, so down at the bottom left, we will have our Protoss player movie. Okay, so movie, he is going for that. Did he get the gas first? Going for a faster gas. Oh man, what would we like to see here for Protoss in this PvT? It's really far away. The spawning positions really kind of suck for a Protoss player if they wanted to go for drop play. Reaver drops, just it's going to take a really long time. You have to get the shuttle upgrade if you're going to go that route. But the gas being mined really quickly here. If you're going to go DTs in this matchup, it's also kind of rough because of the cross spawns again. It's the longest distance of any map in this map pool. So nothing can really get pulled off in that sort of sense. Mine should be able to deal with it. And no player is going for a proxy. Mine not going for something really aggressive here. Playing standard, knowing that he really does have really top-notch TVP and should be able to dispose of this Protoss player. Oh, reading the Twitch chat again. I remember Wax Angel's words with the T8 announcement back then. So Jaedong had to have his team killed to get good teammates. Which was really sad because, you know, then everybody just kind of fibbed out anyway. Looks like that scout going in the wrong direction here. Mind actively trying to find out where movie is. He has 2 scouts on the map, so that means maybe he's trying to gear up for something aggressive here. That little quote provided by Blind Rar, by the way, Stats Master. Okay, so movie, he's looking pretty standard so far, regardless. He does have a Dragoon out. He's going to be getting that range. He's going to be able to deal with this. What we saw last game was actually movie foregone his early Dragoon range upgrade, so he could get some tech out a little bit earlier on. But it wasn't a significant difference. And the timing was only slightly later. What it does is it means that you can't go and pound the front door of your Terran opponent. But that's okay. So, Mine at the top right here, still only mining with one SCV at the gas, which would mean unless he's going for some sort of like bio ball, he's going to be expanding. That's what he's saving up for. He wants an additional command center. He's going to get the 2 bases, and that's how he's going to go from here. So yes, we're going to see that command center at the natural base. The barracks floating over here too, trying to create a choke point, block off Protoss from being able to just march their way in and do some any sort of level of harassment here. That's that siege upgrade on its way. So I guess that's been pointed out correctly in the chat here by a Hollow Panin. Yes, the scouts were actually just actively trying to sniff out if anything cheesy was going to happen here. And, okay, actually, since there's no scout here, Mind may have not realized until now that this is actually a heavy pressure, 1 base Protoss play. Oh, that's Spider-Mine! Taking the shields right off. He's got a micro again. Oh, why? How does he keep them alive? The Dragoons, they do pull back right in time here. Things getting very interesting. The barracks is getting floated away. 4 not Goliaths. I'm sorry, Dragoons. 4 Dragoons applying pressure here at the front. My God, words betray me in this tournament today. He can actually get the SCV. No, the SCV just finishes up right on time. The command center finished up. He runs a Dragoon in, but now he knows where all the Spider Mines are, and he can micro against them and pick them off. Very brave here. Oh, he takes another one out. How is Movie doing this? Movie, this guy is made of steel. What a man indeed. He has taken up the Man Toss nickname today. Continuing to apply pressure. It looks like the barracks has landed again. A Marine has come out. And that will help every little bit for Mine to hold on here against Movie. Oh, now the Nexus is going down at the natural. And Movie, he's going to be behind if he cannot apply any more pressure here. Which it looks like he's kind of done because the siege tanks are out. I hate the fact that he did not put his Nexus down during this harassment, thinking, maybe he was going to win this. Okay, so we're seeing the 2 gates inside of his main base here. The robotic support bay is down, and this is where he's going to have to climb his way back in, is with this Reaver harassment. But Mine's a really smart Terran player. He's got to start thinking about what are the possibilities, knowing that he survived this heavy aggression, and he's got a good, solid lead. There are plenty of probes, though. The transfer is over. The 2 base economy kicking in. But since with this Reaver attack, and he went for the Academy, so he's going to be building Comsat stations, trying to get the scans out, and will be safe against DTs because of that Comsat station, but he is not safe against that Reaver attack. Instead, going for a 3rd command center at the mineral only, going to try to lock that down with his Terran army, defending with his siege tanks. I think this is a good decision for Mine still to go ahead and get that additional command center, knowing that he's ahead and he has that additional income and is going to be turtling up whether he's on 2 or 3 bases anyway. So he should really just try and get whatever damage he can done just by using his vultures and being very proactive with vultures on the map here. Oh, looks like a 3rd baseman scouted out here. Movie, he went for the mineral only here. A fast 3rd Nexus, trying to get back into the economy game. Those vultures, they did not get any damage done, but at least Mind is aware that that 3rd expansion was taken. And this heavy economy game for Movie is going to put his army behind. If Mind decided to go directly into just pumping army out, he could have a significant military advantage and just roll over Movie. But Mind, no, he's still playing to the economy here. Oh, the shuttle! It's going to get scouted here. The vultures are going to be following that shuttle as long as it can. Now, I would be moving the Marines in the correct spot if I was a good Terran player, but I'm not. But Mine should be moving his Terrans into a location, his Marines into a location where he can pick off this shuttle here. It's going to get inside the base. The unsieged tank, it might be able to get a shot off. The Zealot is going to be soaking up damage. He's going after the tank first. No, go after the SCVs. They're not moving. Oh, he does lose that Zealot there. Goes for the Scarab attack. Duds out on all those SCVs. My God. I think Movie blundered here. Trying to get a shuttle out alive. Keep that Reaver. 2 shots away from death. We've got another red shuttle in the house here, guys. As this shuttle is skirting around, trying to look for new locations to attack. It looks like turrets are being built up now to defend against any new shuttles. Meanwhile, a 4th base for Movie. And he's going for the carrier build. Are we going to see the carrier? Or is this just going to turn into something scarier? This shuttle just waiting, counting its hours before it has to go back in and die to the sacrificial lamb of the turrets here. Mine's just waiting for him. Okay, so Movie, we know that he blundered earlier in this tournament. He lost his game because he was unable to beat Sack with his carriers on just this map here too. It was Circuit Breaker, but the spawn positions were switched. Maybe because he's going to be attacking the top right instead of the bottom left, it will be the best situation for him. Yes, I said carrier and scarier. I did that on purpose. It's a pun, Blind Rar. Okay, so... Oh, that shuttle with the range! Gonna die off! Bam! And now he can't chase down this Reaver here. Oh my goodness. Speaking of coffee not kicking in, it seems like Movie needs to be a little bit more alert here. Losing that shuttle and the Reaver. Pretty big deal. Oh man. Alright, Mind. Mind looks like his army is coming out into the middle of the map here, putting himself into a decent position. There's nothing to deal with this, a low amount of Dragoons, and the problem with greedily expanding is the fact that your army count is going to be really low, especially the Zealot count is going to be extremely low in this type of expansion that Movie was going for here. Mind, he's got a good timing attack about him if he wants to push forward here. Oh, and what? Speed's not done? He's going to have slow Zealots for the next 4 minutes of the game here. Movie, he can't do this. He can't hold off without the Speed Zealots. He's got to go for Zealot bombs if anything. But these Goliaths with their range are going to deal with this so effectively. Oh, poor Movie. It looks like he is going to have to fight for second place in this group here. The Zealot bombs, here they come though, trying to be effective. Actually, really good positions here so far. The carrier is out. The Goliath, the Dragoons are moving up here. The Goliaths aren't in range of that carrier. And in fact, there's not many Goliaths left at all. The carriers are out. Okay, but Movie, can he do enough damage here before Mind respawns with Goliaths? Another drop of Zealots here coming from the shuttle. It looks like these siege position tanks are probably going to get taken out once again. Oh, that melee damage so strong for those Zealots. Wow. How was this possible? Oh, okay, I've been informed that if Movie loses this, he's out because Sack actually already beat Movie. So that means that he already has that 1 game advantage. So this is all on the line for Movie. Absolutely insane. Okay, so Movie putting himself in a great position here to try and come back into this game. Guys, we do have one more tiebreaker round to go regardless, because Group C does have to be played out. So those of you waiting for the Gimchi free Mong combination, it will be after this. If Movie can somehow survive here, though, then we will see him play Sack, and the circle continues in Group A, basically putting us to a reset of the morning. Oh, the Reaver attack! Oh, Dud's out again. That was a bigger dud than Dudley Do-Right. Okay, so where is Movie going to be now with his carriers? What's the best position for him to attack into? He's saying, let's go ahead and throw his carriers into this natural base and try and take out as much as he can. But the turret's doing a lot of damage there, keeping the carriers at bay. And enough Goliaths are going to get pumped out here. I don't see I don't see Mind losing this, just because he knows that the carriers are in play now. And he's going to respond by taking this additional command center and responding with the correct unit composition. If Movie was really sneaky though, he would stop the carrier production, drop down like 20 gateways. Okay, maybe not 20, but drop down a ton of gateways, switch into High Templar tech, and then just storm the hell out of Mind's army. But of course, he's going to continue with these carriers. That's the route he wants to go into. He's really far behind on Arbiters anyway, and that would be the difficult thing, is that he would have to go into this Gateway Tech army without the care of Arbiters. But he is dropping down the Templar Archive, so he can go for the Carrier Templar style aggression here, and actually Storm drops would be really cool. But you know what? Unless he can use those carriers to clean out the turrets, there's no way that they're going to die off. So Movie has put himself in a really secure position. He's got more turrets in this PVT than he would in a TVZ. Oh, okay, so he knows about the army here. He senses this out, and Movie's going to go for a huge aggression, try and push down into this ditch here. Is he going to be able to take out this base? The huge hold here. Oh, these glides getting in range of the carrier some, taking out the interceptors very quickly here. Looking at the upgrades, it's +1 attack for this Protoss army, and the Terran has +1 attack too. So on even footing here, not like the 3-3 we saw in the Sack versus Movie game earlier this morning. So this continued attack here, looks like the Protoss army has been able to push the ground back on Mind, and Movie is down in this ditch. Now it's his turn to defend here while he takes out the command center. But no, it looks like ground has been given away, and Mind is going to be able to work his way back in here and save his command center. No SCVs taken out, just pure army trade. I think that Mind is going to be really happy with the way he dealt with this aggression from Movie. Still, the carriers are a continued threat, and a lot of hits were taken on that carrier from the Goliaths, but will eventually be taken out. The re-macro here is going to be really strong though. Look at all these Goliaths coming up. Meanwhile, they're not showing it, but Movie has taken another base at the 9 o'clock position. So he is continuing to expand. He's continuing to grow his economy. And if he can secure that 9 o'clock base, there's no counter vulture harassment here. And that's something that Mind needs to do right now, is to deal with these carriers and counter harass. But Movie is playing extremely well. Oh, that one carrier so low. You know what he should have done is built a forward shield battery. That would have been kind of cool. Oh, man. Okay, so looking at the bottom right here on the UI, we can see the counter here. 138 supply for Movie and 105 supply for Mind. It looks like his worker count is super high right now. Mining from the minerals at full mining capacity at that 9 o'clock base. So Movie is in a really good situation here to stay in and maybe win this game. He is not behind anymore. I can't believe he survived that push earlier. It looked like Mind had found just the right timing to edge out Protoss before those carriers could come in and kick in and help out. There's a lot of turrets here though. Turrets are going to take out these interceptors pretty easily. Okay, so now we're seeing that there's +1 armor and +2 attack for the mech. Oh, storms are out. Okay, this is going to be really good. A mix of these enhanced zealots plus the storm is going to wipe out the Goliaths pretty quickly. And that's what Movie's going to be hoping for here. He's coming in with another push, and it looks like Mind is slowly losing ground here. The zealots doing a lot of damage. He's keeping the army back, and wow. He will take it out. So Movie has eliminated the 4th base of Mind. Mind does not have much mining left. He's relying on his natural and a mineral only. And a key thing here, guys, is that Mind just lost his 2nd gas mining base. And so he's going to be relying on one refinery. Once his main refinery mines out, yes, it gets depleted, and you get very minimal gas from a depleted refinery. So he's going to have to rely on that low-income refinery until he can secure one again. GG! GG! Movie did it! Movie did it! Oh. Okay, time for the reset here. Movie versus Sack. I couldn't be more excited for this. I'm hyped for Movie. Can we see a Protoss advance to the round of 8 from this Group A? It is quite possible, guys. Quite possible indeed. all this coming. All this is the result of the fact that Effort dropped out of Group A. And so then this this round robin. Absolutely incredible. Right, well, I'm going to take a quick break, read through Team Liquid, and sip on my coffee. I'll be right back, guys. We're going to continue Group A in a PvT with Movie versus Sack. I'm definitely excited for that. To answer questions, Holopainen, I am not on holiday today. I have to be at work in 1 hour and 33 minutes. Normally I go to work about 30 minutes ago, but I can go in as late as 9 because I have flex hours. But I do have to go in at some point. We're good though. We're good. I think I can finish at least Group A as far as casting goes. For Zengarden, Movie won. Movie defeated Mind, and this is as I expected. A long Group A, which is awesome.
까까야 크라시바야, 당신 너무 아름다워요. 애써 연습한 이 말 한마디로 우리는 눈부신 미소를 몇 번이나 더 만들어냈다. 100개의 섬으로 된 아름다운 물의 도시 상트페테르부르크에게도 까까야 크라시바야.
Excellence in flight. Korean Air.
서버 점검 중입니다. 모바일 AS 게임 뱅글 지금 다운받으세요.
재밌지? 네, 누나.
대역 준비해. 누구도 나의 파워를 대신할 순 없다. 나는 파워에이드다. 대체할 수 없는 파워. 파워에이드.
세상의 스마트폰이 느려지고 모두가 분노하는 날, 누군가는 혼돈의 도시를 구해야 한다. 360 시큐리티가 더 빠르게, 더 깨끗하게, 더 안전하게 세상의 모바일 라이프를 지키다. 360 시큐리티.
요즘 사람들은 앱으로 필요한 걸 해결한다. 근데 왜 대출엔 그런 게 없지?
JT 친해저축은행 원더플런 스마트 앱.
JT친해저축은행 2015년 7월 영웅은 전설이 되고 전설은 신화가 된다. 최강의 무기로 그날을 준비하라. 접속 시 무기 헤븐스톤 100개 증정. 레이븐.
새로운 선택의 자유를 향해 K5.
서버 점검 중입니다. 모바일 AS 게임 뱅글 지금 다운받으세요.
재밌지? 네, 누나.
The battle for the Halcyon Fold has begun. Enemy is getting ridiculous.
I can track them by their fear.
I'll hold back. It's more entertaining that way.
Miners have unearthed the Kraken. Aced.
That's gonna leave a mark.
team has unleashed the Kraken. Enemy turret destroyed. Enemy vein turret destroyed. Victory.
Welcome back, everybody. We are in the studio today, and this is the tiebreakers for the SSL round of 16. We are on to day 7 here. Group A still being played out, and Movie has a chance to advance first if he can defeat Sack here. Quite an interesting string of ads that we just saw during that commercial break. I found that quite amusing. And to answer someone's question about what do I do for my day job, I write simulations for Boeing aircraft. That's pretty much what I do. And we're in the talks of going all the way to virtual reality for simulations with Boeing aircraft, which would be pretty cool. I do the private sector stuff. I've worked on Blackhawks, Chinooks, Apaches for simulations on those aircraft. But I'm out of the military game. I'm on to private, which is really nice. Completely different game when you're out of the military. A different set of rules that you have to abide by, and much more relaxed ones, I would say. A lot more free budget too. The deadlines aren't as crazy. But that's that. Enough about my day job. Back into the games. We're going to be watching Movie versus Sack. And where are we going to be at? Jade? Jade? No? Wait. What? What? Are you kidding? Someone said let's give Movie a win. Let's give Movie a free win. I wish you guys knew how hilarious this is. Okay, we're on Heartbreak Ridge. Terran has not won a single game on Heartbreak Ridge. Not one. Zero. Zilch. Nothing. And the entire tournament, this has been the one map to knock out all the Terran players. Sharp. Anybody remember the Sharp game? Anybody remember Iris? Oh my goodness. What kind of rigged tournament is this? And what? No! No! Are you serious? Are you serious, guys? Okay, so the probe on the high ground. It's not going to be seen. Another SCV here. It's going to go for the block. He's going to go for the block. But maybe, just maybe he'll cannon? Is he going to forge? Forge it. Forge. Please forge. Please be a forge. Click on it. Oh, it's a gateway. Oh, man. Okay, so the gateway down. I think the big deal here is that the SCVs can out-repair Zealots, especially with the amount of Zealots that can actually get surface area attack on there. And so, when the barracks is done, he's going to be able to defend against this. I don't see this doing too much, but Movie's going for it anyway. Let's be positive here. Maybe Movie can win right here. Alright, so I imagine one Zealot is going to be coming out right away. Now, Movie can see this. He could have canceled, but he could have stopped his full commitment into this once he saw that there was going to be the wall off here. But Movie obviously, or Mind obviously really smart here, went for the wall off at this entrance. Oh, he goes for the lift! Yo, he saw it! He went for the lift right away! Are you kidding me? He almost removed his barracks, but he did. He used his map awareness. The Zealot wasn't out in time, and he could have sprinted that Zealot down in time. He should have had the probe ready to go under that barracks as soon as it was lifted. But no, he's going to lift. He's going to bring repair with his SCVs here. Okay, now it's going to be cannon. He's going to cannon at the ridge. Oh my god, what a heartbreak ridge indeed. Okay, so the cannon's on its way. The Zealots are coming in here too. The range, he cannot see up this ramp unless he has the SCV up there. Oh my goodness. If he loses this SCV, he's going to lose vision. And now he can't see the top again. He can no longer attack that cannon on top of the ridge. He's got to keep the SCV out of the way here. The SCV going across the map instead to scout out the opposing base. The cannon's done, but he will get vision of the cannon as the cannon attacks. The problem is, you cannot focus fire the cannon. You cannot, because you can't control the Marines inside of that bunker. Oh, but every time the cannon attacks, every time it does attack, you will get vision of it on the high ground here. Just there is that miss chance too. You're not going to hit it as much. Oh god, this is brutal. Oh, this is brutal. What? What's he doing? Why is he attacking the gateway? Someone explain this to me. Does he need what? Please someone explain this to me. What is he doing here? I'm so confused. Oh my goodness. Please explain what the purpose of this is. Oh, okay, because the cannon's going to auto-attack. Okay, I gotcha. The cannon will auto-attack. You can't prevent it from attacking the bunker. He wants to keep it alive until he gets enough units out. And, oh, it gets taken out anyway. The quick bunker lift. This is the most fascinating thing I've ever seen. I've never seen something quite like that before. That was really smart by Movie. But Movie also went for a terrible cheese. Yeah, I think he could have built another cannon up there if he had done it right. If he built 2 cannons, this would have been game. He could have won that. And now actually it's going to be really easy to kill off these buildings because they're not going to have any shields on them due to the cannon fire. Yep, should have built 2 cannons. I definitely agree with that. Now, we're still dealing with Sack here. Can Sack fight his way back here? So, okay. The Nexus is going down in the natural base. If anything, we could think, okay, well, there is a late command center. There's no natural base for Sack. So far, so good. But Movie's just cracking me up. Oh man. Yeah, I agree. I'm just reading a couple of the comments here, and Forge First probably would have been better in cannoning on the ridge, and then gotten the gateway second. I'm not really sure the logistics behind why he didn't do that, but it seems like he's transitioning fine out of this, and we're actually going to see a relatively normal game now. How about that? You know, if you think about it, Sack lost quite a few SCVs to that cannon. I think he lost 3, possibly 4 SCVs that were repairing on that bunker. So, the damage wasn't an even trade, though. The probes here, okay, so the probes transferring, and not as many probes as Movie would generally have to because of his early cheese. He had to halt on the probe production a little bit so he could have the economy for what he was doing. But he is still looking pretty solid, too. And going for the robotic support bay, I like this. I hope he gets speed on his shuttle first takes his time, because Sack really isn't thinking right now, okay, I've got to start turreting up and defend against drops. He's thinking more of getting his factory tech out, expanding, getting his command center down. Okay, so turret at the natural. A little bit of security going on. The armory going down. And we know that Sack loves those armory upgrades. He hates falling behind on them. But we are going to see a Reaver game here. The shuttle is out and on its way across the map. If he goes for the main base, he will have a much better opportunity to take out SCVs. The Ridge, so perfect to fly over there. Drops are such a threat from Protoss in this. There's only one turret, and he can actually avoid this turret. So if Movie is smart and he plays this well, some damage is going to get done. Here it comes, though. He will be seen. Oh, the turret takes one shot off. If he goes to the south, though, I think that he might be able to get at least one shot in here. The tanks are going to all go away here. This would be that wonderful opportunity if he had two shuttles to micro against this. Oh, he's going behind. He's going behind the mineral line. But he's got to go to that one little hole here if he wants to drop the Reaver off. But no, he's got the tank army out of position. The Marines trying to get right into the right location here. He scares that SCV away from the turret. He's going to be able to take it down. Does have a Zealot in here. Oh my god. Movie, you are just going absolutely insane here, aren't you? Is he going to be able to get this drop off here? He can get the Reaver in the right position. Oh my, he's going to get one scare shot off. He kills a couple SCVs. 4 go down. And he does get the Reaver back too. The shuttle's still alive. The Marine's out of position. And the turret can't attack that shuttle. That was crazy. So several SCVs do go down here. Okay, that is a long string of Dragoons coming across the map here. Looks like Movie going for more aggression. He's going to try and pound at the front door now. He does have that slight economic advantage with those SCVs that he did kill off. Meanwhile, maybe thinking an additional Nexus? That would be a mistake. No, this is going to be a 2-base all-in, I believe. And Movie, can he do it right here? Wants to advance first out of Group A. Wants to take this game right now. Will he do it? For any of you stats masters, if Sack loses right now, will Mind advance over Sack? That is the question that I have for you guys. Will it be Mind and Movie if Sack loses here? That is the question for you guys to answer me. I'm not sure how the round robin will work, since both of them technically have had losses just as of recent. Okay, so nice contain here with the Dragoons and the Reavers at the front here. Someone's saying 3 SCVs kills. I thought there was a 4 SCV, but we don't need to fight over that. Okay, so this is a completely new round, just to make that clear. So it's basically a reset because everybody lost one game. Beautiful. It's exactly how we want it. So we will see a game after this regardless. And that would be, if Movie can win here, it would be, wait, so if Movie wins here, would he have to play another PVT if they all have a 0-0 record? Or if their records are wiped clean? That I'm unclear of then. Okay, so the Reaver attack, the micro is really good here. He did manage to keep the Reaver alive by picking it up before the tank shots here, and now he's pushing in. It looks like Sack might lose this game. He lost a lot of tanks at the front, but none of the Zealots did tank that damage here at the choke point between the natural and the main. And so he's going to have to wait one more time for the re-macro to come in here. Losing that Reaver, kind of a big deal, and it's because he lost that shuttle first that he wasn't able to keep that Reaver alive. So since this is effectively the first game, Movie will have to win a second game to actually advance out of this group. To make that clear, that is exactly what is going to need to happen here. Of course, round robin format has to be the most confusing thing in the world, right? But it is what gives us more StarCraft than we normally could have. So we're all... Thank Ire that we have this format. Okay, so the Vultures are out, and this is something that we haven't seen, is the Vultures for the defense. Where are the Spider Mines now? We need to see them laid out. Not a lot of detection here. Oh my god, is he going to lose that Observer? Last game that Sack played against Movie, Sack picked off so many Observers of Movie that Movie just could not have the proper detection in that game. Okay, now we are seeing spider mines go down. Even though that observer is alive, it's just one shot away from ending its life. Okay. Now we're seeing the push in. Movie's ready. Okay, the Zealot's coming in forward, charging through, not caring about the spider mines. Gonna do as much damage as possible. The Marines have been pulled out too. They're actually doing some decent damage. Not bad for a small group of Marines, but still, the Protoss army proceeds forward here. They have to take out these tanks. That's the last thing that they have to do. But I think that was a mistake. Movie, he pushed in too much. The surround was really good. The spread by the Terran army, way too strong. And now SAC is going to take the advantage here. 3 base Protoss, though, versus 2 base Terran. Meanwhile, maybe an extra expansion down at the bottom right, too. Movie's not that far behind because he does have a great economy. He can re-macro. The probes on the run, transferring. Okay, this is the scary part. So many probes are getting moved right now, and there are vultures on the map. They might be able to detect this too. Zealots, they're gonna have to keep these vultures at bay. Are they gonna see the probes? Oh, I think SAC saw them. Did he see them? This is huge. This is absolutely crucial. Did SAC see those probes? Movie was doing everything he could to keep that Terran army back while the transfer completed. And I think he may have safely secured this base down at the bottom right. Alright. So now the Terran army. Okay. So it's confirmed now. SAC does see it. 2 pylons dropping down to help avoid this army from getting in as quickly here. But the pylons are going to go down really quickly to the Goliaths and the tanks. It looks like this is going to be a lost base. And what's really bad is there were so many probes transferred to that base that Movie is now in a really bad situation if the Terran army can get inside. So it looks like there's going to be a pincer here. He's going to be trying to squeeze the Terran up against this ridge and do as much damage as possible with the army he does have, almost losing all his Zealots to the spider mines. Good reaction there, even though he still did take a hit. Now the Terran army still moving down to the bottom right. Movie, what's he going to do? He does have 3 bases, SAC only on 2. That main's going to dry up eventually, but the Terran army is so strong right now. Really looks like an unbeatable army. And that is the power of mech here. We're looking at 1-1 now. 1 armor, 1 attack. Where does Movie sit on his upgrade counter? That's kind of an important question here. And finally, Arbiters are going to be coming out. Arbiters are the way to go to deal with this Protoss army at this point in the game. Not even killing off the probes, a very questionable decision here. Knowing, though, that he's going to have to kill off both those probes and Nexus anyway. Movie's going to have to just understand that those are going to be sacrificed. Oh, wow. This engagement here, not a very good one for the Protoss player. Movie's going to have to pull his Dragoons back. He doesn't even have his Zealots at the front, but he may go for it anyway. Is he going to be able to catch a few tanks off while he is going to push in and take this engagement down at the bottom of the map? No, he decides not to go for it. So SAC, what's his decision now? What decision is he going to go for here? Movie's got his army re-macroed up, down outside of his natural and his 3rd. We're ready to go for an engagement. It looks like he's near maxed. I wish we could get a little bit of a unit and income count every once in a while. OGN, so nice to put that down there at the bottom right. Okay, so the tank push is continuing forward. I hate SAC's position here. I think really he's taking a bad engagement by keeping himself contained in such a small area on the ridge here. And it looks like Movie is going to take advantage of that. He does stasis, not entirely the back tanks, but he does get a lot here. And the Zealots are going to be pushing forward. I think that Movie will be able to clean this up. Really, really bad decision making by SAC to put his army in such a tight location. It's all about being spread out and having a good surface area. And SAC did not do that well with his army. Losing the entire push now. His momentum has just shifted in favor of Movie. And Movie is taking out a lot of these units with just some good Dragoon forces. Okay, so looking at the base count here, SAC's still in a terrible position. He does not have a 3rd command center. Even that natural base is going to be starting to get low soon. This is a really scary position to be in for a Terran player, knowing that you're behind in these bases and you just lost the core of your mech army. His upgrade count isn't even that great. just with the 1-1, it's not going to be as important. Protoss can still deal with that. And look at that. He doesn't have a lot of machine shop add-ons because he doesn't have the additional gas space to afford the additional tanks. He can really only produce out of the factories that have vultures coming out of them anyway. So that's why you're only seeing 2 add-ons. So crazily low amount for how far we are into this game. Meanwhile, this command center is not going to be able to sit down. It's going to force a few military units up to the top right to take out that pylon before he can expand into a 3rd base. But Sack knows he does have to take an additional base, turtle up, and go completely turtle mech style. I expect recalls here. Honestly, we haven't seen the main base, and I don't know how the turret situation is for Sack. But I believe that he doesn't have a lot of turrets just by looking at the red cluster in his main base. And I think that he could pull off a really sick recall here and do a ton of damage. Now, in the first game, we saw that there were some terrible recalls that completely threw the game for Movie, as people are actually just mentioning at the same time here in the Twitch chat. But this time, I think they can make sense. Okay, the stasis going off, but he does lose. The Arbiter. And he did force out an EMP. So kind of a good even trade there. Of course, you always want the Arbiter alive, but there still is one left. Another EMP going off, eliminating the energy here. The stasis field is doing some work. The Zealots, they can't get past the Dragoons. A huge blunder there by not putting the Zealots in the correct spot before going for this engagement. But still, I think Movie is about to take this game. He will have the 1-0 lead going into a game against Mind. Can Sack hold on here? There's not much left. The Heartbreak Ridge looks like it's going to still remain a game where Protoss is undefeated. Terran cannot win on this map. It is just the fate. It is the fate. Oh, GG. So, I guess I need to say one thing. A Terran player did win on Heartbreak Ridge, but it was a TVT. So we're going to discard that. Once again, the opposite race prevails. Oh, wow. Sack in a terrible position now. He's now lost 2 games in a row. He lost to Movie and he lost to Mind. But Movie now, he has to take on Mind. And this is going to be really, really, really difficult. So what will the next map be? That's the question here. We have Neo Jade, still, that hasn't been played. We had Circuit Breaker played. We've seen La Mancha. How's it going to play out from here? We're just going to have to wait and see.
집에서는 절대 만들 수 없는 맛이야.
오, 스프라이.
스프라이트 샤워 하실래요? 나를 깨우는 상쾌함. 스프라이트. 요즘 사람들은 앱으로 필요한 걸 해결한다. 근데 왜 대출엔 그런 게 없지?
JT 친해저축은행 원더플런 스마트 앱.
JT 친해저축은행. 와우, ready?
Sprite.
스프라이트 샤워 하실래요? 나를 깨우는 상쾌함. 스프라이트.
더 강하고 날렵하게 치명적인 한방 초토화 한방 액션 용사 X 용사.
The battle for the Halcyon Fold has begun. Enemy is getting ridiculous.
I can track them by their fear.
I'll hold back. It's more entertaining that way.
Miners have unearthed the Kraken. Aced.
That's gonna leave a mark.
Your team has unleashed the Kraken. Enemy turret destroyed. Enemy vein turret destroyed. Victory.
환상 위에 바람을 일으킨다. 전신 조훈양. 목숨을 걸고 둔다. 불사조 조치훈. 전관왕을 달성하고 대삼관에 오르는 동안에도 그들은 언제나 서로를 꿈꿨다. 화려함과 투혼이 만나는 순간 오랜 기다림이 이제 역사의 한 페이지가 된다. 한국 현대바둑 70주년 특별 대국 조훈현 대 조치훈. (2015년 8월) 베인글로리 첫 번째 정규리그 개최 모바일 e스포츠의 시작을 함께한 예선 모집 접수를 시작합니다.
Are you ready for